Let's talk Bacon's fictional franchise. Welcome for everyone who's here. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk trade deadline news before we do a game today. So I got my computer, I got this up. I got a bunch of players who I'm thinking that I want to move. And we'll start at the top with Paul Keys. Again, on stream, in games, I've talked about how he is a free agent to be, and I'm thinking about moving him. Still not sure about it. I gotta be honest. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about a number of trades, but I think actually I want to skip Keys and look at somebody else. So we'll move to first base. I mentioned Mac Tracy on stream before. What's up, Ramjet? Yeah, we are here. We're looking at trades. So I mentioned Mac Tracy on stream before. Here's what his player card looks like. Again, similar player to Schwabenlin, so he could be a guy I'd at least like send to the majors and have play some first base, or more likely DH, since he's a worse defender than Schwabenland is. So here's the comp between the two. He's a little better power against lefties. They're the same power righties. They're about the same contact righties, and then he has less contact left. Good, a better clutch, even 90 clutch. Okay, and then discipline is a ghost stat. So that one is, or a sim stat is what they're referred to usually. So I'm not worried about discipline attributes because those are just for simulating. So if you play a lot of games, don't worry about discipline. Don't worry about arm accuracy. That's another one. But Tracy will be in the majors after this trade deadline is the plan. So that's the thought here. Schwaberlin just had 2 home runs. He has multiple 2 home run games. So I'm hesitant to trade him as well, but he is a free agent at season end, and he's on a pretty affordable contract. I haven't looked at trades specifically for him, but I have thought about possible locations for him to go to. So I'll come back to him as well. I do want to do. I saw one that I was messing around with it. I was trying to get one prospect specifically, and they wanted Jake Jackson. So this will be the first trade we do. It's Jake Jackson, a minor leaguer for a minor leaguer. I want Ben Walsh. So here's Jackson. He's a little bit off before he gets to the majors. 66. Again, like he's almost there with most of his per nines. So he's going to make an impact, but then he's only got a C potential. He's only got 3 pitches, so he's not exactly a super useful starter, even when he tops out around 74, 75. So we're going to move him to Arizona for Ben Walsh, who plays everywhere. He's primarily a left fielder, not a great defender, but big left-handed bat, good durability. He's just gonna, I like this move just because I'll pick up a bat or an arm, and I will definitely make that trade. So there he is. There's Walsh, and we're doing this. They offered that one to me before, and I said no, and I thought about it, and I do like it. So Ben Walsh is the newest Cleveland Spider. They have him in AAA. Cool. Good. So that's done. And then I also want to think about we're still at the bottom here, so I'm going to move Ziegler. Ziegler's been playing first base for me. He had a home run in the last game, and he's not too much of a threat against right-handers. Stats aren't great for the actual season. And then, of course, he can play everywhere, so he's a good utility infielder or outfielder if someone's looking for that. And I did find one partner that I liked. I took a screenshot of this when I was messing around off stream. I'm going to trade him to Washington. Again, welcome anyone who's here. We're talking trades. It is the trade deadline. I want to move him to Washington for another left fielder, actually, and that's another one of my favorite prospects, Harper Bryson, who I hope you can tell is an obvious reference to Bryce Harper. So he will go to us for Doug Ziegler to pick up a third baseman, and he's going to help because they don't have much for third base depth, and then they need a major league ready outfielder right now. So we're doing that one as well. Ramjet, I know that Jackson tops out around there because I've done simulations. So I've done a bunch of sims with the roster, up to 10 years in the future, sometimes even more, and you just kind of keep track of some guys, and that's one of the guys that doesn't really turn into anything beyond like a 74, 75. You can tell that by potential, and then for pitchers, it's pitch mix. So if they don't have like a great pitch mix in terms of control or movement, then they're not going to top out, above 80 or so. So that's the thought there. I'm going to put this in my computer real fast. It's going to be left fielder Bryson, and then he's just an outfielder, Harper Bryson. All three spots. Again, not a great defender, but this is my prototype that I like for players to acquire is big time contact guys. And he takes some time, but he's a B potential. So we're rolling with it. So that's the second trade we got here. They like it. So here we go. I have another one on my phone. Do I? Yes, I do. Another one will be Chad Wood. I do want to trade Chad Wood. He's been on fire. He's been good for us. But I acquired Ortiz, and I wanted him to start. He's got a few years before he's a free agent anyways, and then he's a good enough defender. Lazari's hurt, but he'll be back very soon, so he'll fill our need primarily right away. Big time contact guy, as you can see. And then Osborne is one of my favorite minor leaguers in the roster. He's going to be a bench bat probably next year, as soon as next year, probably not this year. But he's, again, one of my favorite bench players on the entire roster. Casey Osborne, as you can tell by 99s across the board. Again, don't really care too much about defense. I've talked about that a lot. I just like big vision, big clutch, big speed, plays everywhere. So he will be a bench player for me. So I don't need Wood. And again, on top of that, Wood is a free agent after this season. So we're moving him to, what was the team I had? To the Angels. And Angels third baseman that I'm acquiring is Peter Frazier, another B potential. And then he's a guy who plays a bunch of spots too, infield and outfield. Ramjet, I don't entirely know the future though. It's different in every franchise. But again, like that, I don't need the pitching as much either. So I wanted the outfielder. So Pete Frazier, yeah. What's up, Cole? Pete Frazier, he's platoon bat, a little more against right-handers, and then not so much on defense. So again, kind of player I'm looking to acquire. He's a 62 overall, 20 years old from Australia. So we'll pick him up as well. And there we go. And then I guess I'm going to come back to Schwabenland because I want to talk about the Kings next. Again, this is another one that I was looking at. It'll be Chuck Souza, who I had to trade. He's old. He's going to retire. And I'm really okay with not having him for the rest of this season because I got a third baseman, Ozzie Ramirez, from the Reds. I like him a lot. Another good hitter, my prototypical player. Lots of arm strength, great durability, and then he's young and projectable, deep potential. So I'll move him, and then not moving him. I'm moving Souza for Ramirez to come up, and then I'm also going to bump Lucas Harris, and they're going to go to the Marlins for 3 players. This one again I saw off stream when I was messing around with trades, and the 3 players are 3 C potential players. 3 of them that I really like: Jonathan Winslow, bench bat, another guy good against left-handers. Yeah, Ramjet, no, I don't know for sure. Again, every simulation, every franchise is going to be different. Your franchise is different than my franchise, even if you try to emulate my moves, things are just going to turn out differently throughout the league. So again, like he tops out around 74, 75 for Jackson. Like I'm not saying he's always going to be that good. Sometimes he's a surprise all-star or just has a really good half and then his potential skyrockets. But again, I'm not as much of a fan of him, so that's why we moved him to Arizona. So Winslow's the first one, and then the second one's going to be Hayden Cherry. He's a big-time bat, big-time power guy. Not so much on defense. He's first base or sometimes right field. I'm never going to have him catch, but he has it as a secondary. So that's the second piece. And then the third one I wanted was their closer, Rocky Thompson, 20 years old, 59 overall. Now he's throws gas. And again, like I like this because it's young talent. All 3 of these guys are actually 20 years old, and they're all C-ish, mid to high C's. So this one is the first trade that we'll do with these Kings. And then actually that's it of the trades that I previewed that I looked at before. But I do want to think about who else we move off of here for the Kings. I'm torn on Poole because I could trade Poole now, and again that we're kind of giving up with the Kings for this season. I'm still in it for the for the Spiders, but the Kings I kind of want to sell off a little bit. And I have a pitching prospect that's almost there, and then Stromble is in the minors, and I don't pitch well with him for some reason. But O is almost ready, so I could have him come up as well if we just want to kill this season where we're at. So Poole is someone I'm thinking about moving. So that's one thought, and then of course I want to move Gavin Cook and then have Aguilera start, and then I can actually probably move Fujita to the outfield. Is a thought instead of having him still play shortstop. He can play everywhere as well. So the thought is Gavin Cook. He's a pending free agent. Big time power bat, had a couple big home runs for me, but I want to move him for something else, and I'm not sure what. So let's think about prospects. To do this, you just press square for suggest a trade, and then go to prospects. And it's just going to take a second, and it shows me a bunch of possibilities. And this is how I found those other trades. It's essentially being like he's on the block. Someone throw me orders. So let's look at some stuff. I like Joe Black, but he takes a lot of time. Same thing with Connors, takes time. So we'll just keep on looking. A couple B potential prospects there. I like that. But again, a couple guys that take some time. And again, I'm not entirely sure. It's not every franchise goes the same, and not like all these players develop the same way every franchise. But there are players that I generally like. Like this one, I like August Clark. He's almost a major league ready second baseman. He could be someone who I look at. Lonnie Heller, Ben Tillman, those are a couple of guys I like too. Not so much Roseboro, he's just going to take up a 40-man spot. And I could, of course, edit these as well, but we're just looking through each team. I'm probably not going to trade within the division. And then I won't trade with myself. So it'll have an offer for the Spiders, but I won't be trading between the Kings and the Spiders at all in this franchise. I've thought about it, and that just doesn't sound legitimate to me. Here's a couple guys I like. That's Justin Marshall, contact hitting left fielder who's major league ready, and then Jordan Jennings is a reliever that's pretty much major league ready too. That's probably the one I'll do here. That's my favorite trade of the ones I've seen here. So that'll probably be the move. McDowell's a good third baseman. I don't necessarily need a third baseman. Again, here's the Spiders. I'm not going to do any of these trades, especially because I just acquired Frazier here and I just acquired Walsh or Bryson. Like, I know I'm full of left fielders, but I don't really exactly want to move them. Maddox is a good one too. Maddox is a masher at first base. I don't exactly need a first baseman on either or in Atlanta here, so that's probably not going to be the move. Great, Moosey. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, it's a new roster. It's completely different than like what comes out of the box. So I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad it is rejuvenating your experience. It's the reason why I'm playing the show in January. So I'm glad that it's the case for you as well. I'm going to make that trade with the Angels. That's the one I like the best. It's Marshall and Jordan Jennings. So actually, I'm going to bounce off that. Marshall is actually hurt right now. Damn. Okay, well, he's going to come back. But yeah, there's his player card. High vision, high discipline, high contact right. He's a left-handed hitter. Not so much a good defender, but he's got decent reaction. He probably could play some center. And Jordan Jennings is the other one, B potential reliever. There aren't many B potential relievers, so he's someone who I'm looking at. And then there's a sliver left. I'm probably not going to go for like a D potential guy. Sometimes you just ask for like another throw-in guy. So like I could get D potential relievers, and it's not really going to change their interest much. Again, trade logic is whack in this game, so I'd like to see them make improvements to that. I probably can't get another like C prospect thrown in here unless I throw them someone else. So they're looking for a right fielder. They'll probably just have Cook play left and someone else play right. That would make sense at least. Yeah, and there's like nobody who I particularly want back. Grubbs is a player you should look to acquire too if you're looking for massive hitters, guys that turn into big dudes. Max Grubbs is near the top of that list. And then I gave him Barry Bonds' stance, so you should at least be scared when you see him. I don't think I can or really want to get anything else here unless I throw somebody else at them. So let's think about, I can think about packaging Poole in this too, because I know everybody needs starting pitching. Poole is a 74, so he'd probably be their 5 or their 4, but they have Emmerling in the majors. I'll take Grubbs off here. Just to mess around, I want to see what it would take for Emmerling. Can I give them Poole? No, they want more than that. Those are like my top 2 guys I'm trying to move off of here, are Poole and Cook. I don't really want to throw him Reynolds too, because if I trade Poole, I want to keep Reynolds, and if I trade Reynolds, I want to keep Poole. But then Emmerling would be a nice return instead, because I'd have him instead of Reynolds, and then he actually, the B potential helps right there instead. And of course, Poole's getting moved because he's a free agent. So maybe I'll consider that then. Maybe someone a little lesser than Reynolds, maybe Burke. There we go, that works. Burke is someone I'm looking to move off of as well. I have another few relievers that I could have in the majors, including May, who I got from the Reds. I like him a lot. But I think this is going to be the move then. I'll move Burke too. And that's, again, like these are 3 of the guys I'm trying to move, thinking ahead of this. So yeah, this is going to be the deal here. Marshall is pretty much major league ready, especially once he comes back from the injury. Just a review quick. And then Jennings is a great reliever. Will turn into a great reliever, I mean. And Emmerling is already in the majors, so I like it. Yes. Troy, it doesn't stop you from making trades with your own users. So I'm personally restricting myself, so I don't do that. I don't really want to, I feel like that's manipulation of the game, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could control 2 teams. You could trade everyone to 1 team, and make the most lopsided trades that you want. Yeah, I think that's a good trade too. Yeah, especially since Emmerling is major league ready, so he's on the majors right now. So I'm probably gonna roll with him as soon as he is full of energy. So that's good. And then I didn't mind moving off of Burke, and I'll keep Reynolds. And Reynolds has he has another year before he's a free agent. He has 2 years before he's a free agent, actually. Okay, so I won't move Reynolds. I'm probably not going to move O. So we're going to go back to the Spiders. I'm sure this is confusing if you guys haven't been following along this whole time. I made a couple trades with the Spiders already, and now the thought is moving Paul Keyes. And again, the issue is that you only get 3 players back. So one of those players has to be a really high impact guy who can take his spot right away before you even consider the next 2 pieces. So I'm looking for center fielders that are blocked. And then, of course, the value is different for each team. Some guys value a switch hitting, power and contact hitting center fielder more than others, apparently. But I'm really not sure if I even want to trade him. And again, I looked at deals with him before, and I didn't love the returns necessarily. Blanco's interesting because I get 5 years, but then he's a no power guy. Decent defense, no arm. But star in St. Louis. Someone I could think about, but I'm probably going to pass. And then I like Max Taylor for the Reds a lot, actually, so he's a thought. Yeah. So he would be the centerpiece of a trade I make with the Reds, and then he has 5 years control, and that contract is cheap-ish too, $10 million. I don't want to say $10 million is cheap, but if he's a major league regular and he's an all-star every here and there, or hitting, what is he hitting, 271's enough. And then he should be 30-30 this season, 12 homers, 18 stolen bags. Just need a little bit more power against righties. That's what I want. He's just a right-handed hitter. So what I'm thinking, though, is that I can trade Keyes, and I can at least think about re-signing him in the off season. So we kind of give up on the rest of this year, and hopefully we get like enough of a return where we can build up, and then Keyes is still interested in coming back, because sometimes you can trade a guy and have him come back. And that's happening in real life too, so that's somewhat realistic. Like Aroldis Chapman is the main example that I always think of. He was traded from the Yankees to the Cubs and then re-signed with the Yankees in free agency. Who else would I want here? Give me another A. Okay, Davis is an A. I like that. What else? They have an A starter. That's Birkins. That's too much. Okay. You'll probably get a B starter then. That's Dylan Kelly. Okay. Bullpen Cross is a veteran. Again, thanks for being here. We're talking trades. I'll jump into a game after this, but we're doing trades right now. It is the trade deadline. I want A's or B's. Yeah, so they give Davis. What else do they have for B's in the outfield? Dylan Ash is a C. I like him a lot. He was a new player that I made. Play some third base. Good arm. How about Nivar? That's only a C. Okay. Santana's hurt, so they don't want to move him. So I like Jesse Davis because he's the only option, really. And then let's at least look at that right-handed B potential. Yeah, that would work then too. Dylan Kelly. So should I do this then? Dylan Kelly, five pitch pitcher, cutter, four seam, curveball, slide, change. Decent control. It's 57. Stamina is only 59 though. He's at 65 now, so he could be up soon. The major league return would be Max Taylor, and this improves the Reds. I'm actually going to check their spot in the standings because if they're not first or second in the division, it doesn't make sense for me to trade a good player to them if they're not playoff pushing. If that makes sense. So we're going to do that real fast. Standings. Yeah, and they're second. They're only down 4 games, and this is a bad NL Central. Oh man, I know I've said it before, but the NL Central is not a good division in Bacon's fictional roster. Dodgers leading it. Wow. Reds aren't too far off the division, but they're pretty far off of the wild card. They're as far off as we are, the Kings. I think I could do this. I'd at least, again, like it doesn't close the door on us getting keys later. It just means that we're moving off him for the rest of the season. I can think about him in free agency. But yeah, I like that trade actually. So we're gonna do that. Unless someone objects in the chat, of course. I'm gonna do it. A potential prospect. B potential starter. Yeah, Jerron. It's I don't generally want to send my best player or my best couple players to a team that's not really gonna have any use for them. Again, that's also why I wanted Taylor back to start with. That was the thought. Yeah, I think I am going to do this one. Again, Taylor's got control too, so it's a 5-year contract for him. And then if I do think about re-signing Keys, I can have him play left field because left field is a weakness for me. 73 is my highest, or not even my starter. I'm starting Jackson, and then he could even play right field. But I think I like this enough to at least give Taylor a shot, and if he does well, I don't even have to think about bringing Keys back, even though he's a monster. It's going to be a big contract that he signs in the offseason. It always is. But Taylor's going to be very affordable, and this will be able to, we'll be able to spread the payroll around instead of just centering it all on Keys. So we're going to do this then, yeah. And I like Davis. Again, a potential shortstop. Takes some time. We don't necessarily need a shortstop now, so it's good. But then he can kind of be the guy later on. And then Dylan Kelly's just for depth. That's depth at the starting pitching position. You need that. So yeah, I am going to do this. I put it in my notes. Cool. So it is done. All right. Our new center fielder, Max Taylor. Beautiful. And then again, we got to think about first base again. I still think I'm just going to hold on to Schwabenland then, right? Just because he's been so good, right? And of course, I have Tracy, same kind of player. See, he's just not there defensively, a little bit slower. He has worse vision, too. Schwabenland's got some decent vision for a guy who hits bombs. Generally, I didn't do high vision and high power when I made players. But what do you guys think? Trade Schwabenland? He's a 76. I could probably get something for him, right? Send him to someone who's close to the wild card, close to the division, possibly. I'm thinking let's start in the AL. Again, I like Joe Black. Not sure how much the Giants need a first baseman, though. Padres, I know, don't need a first baseman. Maybe we'll just look down like we did with Keys here. do like lefty right, but I have to give up more to get right. Rockies look like they need a first baseman. They wouldn't give up Nesbitt. That's close though too. That would be a good move too. Do like that. What else would I add in here? Hendricks is a free agent to be. Could do that. Are the Rockies in first or second? Then I'd have to get another arm probably, right, to just to fill my bullpen. I got some guys who are just about there though. Dante Tracy's great. I guess not him though. Maybe I could give him somebody else and then get Tracy back. Who else? Who else could I move? I want to keep Manzanillo. And I want to keep interest. Who else could? Either interested in this, but I want Tracy too. Or maybe not even. I don't even need Tracy. Betancourt is decent even. And then not much here. Groom is good. I like him. I want to get Nesbitt and a C reliever, and I can't do that with the current package I'm sending. I send someone else instead of Schwabenland, or as well. He isn't enough. I don't want to just. I got 3 B or higher third base prospects. That's nice now. Again, same thing with left field. A bunch of Bs there too. Maybe I can trade from depth here. Yeah, I don't want to trade Roediger. I like Dixon. He's got 99 speed too. It's rare when you find the 99 speed guys. Keep them. As long as you hit them, of course. Campos isn't enough for you. Okay. Anderson's in the majors. That's not enough either. Shoot. I'm not going to move Grimm. Not going to move anyone else off my major league roster. Just be Schwabenland or Hendricks is who I'm thinking. But I don't think I'd be able to get Groom here because that's asking too much. Okay, let's look at other first basemen then. Again, I probably don't even need one back because I can play Tracy in the majors. So maybe let's think about that then. I could do 2 relievers back. Give me Groom and give me Tracy. That's nice. Okay. What about this? Groom is a decent reliever. Again, takes a little bit of time. I do like his pitch mix too. He throws harder, and then the cutter's more of a slider. Talked about that on stream before too. He's decent. And then Dante Tracy is nasty. 99 velo. He's got 98 break. All of his pitches move too. I know that. He just is one of those guys that has everything going for him out of the bullpen. And extreme numbers. As long as you can control him, that's pretty much it. So Tracy's probably going to be the guy I want the most of these two. And at least just build up for the future because they both are very controllable. Yeah, Tracy's only got 1+ year in the majors. Maybe even think about a third guy then. See if I can get another C potential prospect. It'd probably have to be one of the guys that takes some time. I don't want Kraft. And almost same kind of thing. I don't really want him either. Just a C potential that doesn't always pan out. Yeah, you like this, Cole? I like D'Angelo Reyes too, but this is a dude who's really close too. Look at this bat. Maybe I try him instead then. Let's do that. Try him instead of Groom. Come on now. What if I do Groom too and then add Hendricks? No? Take off Groom. Wow, okay. So they don't want to move Reyes. I wonder I could probably do Reyes and Groom and take off Tracy though. No? I don't like this. I didn't even check if the Rockies in it. Standings. Rockies are second too, and they're well above power. Yeah, they're the first wild card. Yeah, so they're looking to add on anyway. Shoot. Because the bat I want is Reyes. And they wouldn't do 1-for-1. Reyes is already a better bat, in my opinion, too, than Schwabenland. Plus the 99 clutch is beautiful. Love that. Maybe I'll try to center it around him then instead. Who else can I give up? What do you guys think? Hendricks is the guy. And then I just got a bunch of left fielders, so probably left field is something I can think about. They could use Bryson, okay. They would take Campos. Campos is one of the few 17-year-olds I have on the roster. That would make sense too, because he doesn't exactly peak the same way. He's only a C potential, as you can see there. I haven't done as many tests with him. He's usually a free agent, and then someone signs him, and I lose track of him, and that's when he kind of blows up. They would do it for Anderson, though. There we go. So I can move some of that major league depth. I would do this then. What do you guys think about this one? Hendricks again was one of the guys I was thinking of moving, and then Tracy just going to straight up take his spot in the majors. And then both Schwabenland and Hendricks are free agents at the end of the year. Yeah, you think Campos? Good. Anderson would clear a spot in the 40-man too, and I don't really like him too much. I don't want to, but then I can use Campos later in a future trade or one of these other B guys. Gibson play the infield. Yeah, Gibson's like another bench guy like Osborne is, and same with Walsh. I like his flexibility. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Anderson. I know you think Campos cold, but I'm gonna move Anderson is what I'm going to do here. So these all in my notes here, and that's going to be it for these trades then. Yeah, it's going to free up a spot on the 40-man, and I need that for the future too, because I'm going to have to add guys later on. So yeah, that's going to be the move here. Boom, big trade right there. Cool, now it's going to be mad at me for a couple things. Cool. I'm at 91 players, so I'm going to have to remove somebody, or I can trade, or what am I thinking? I just got a bunch of left fielders. Okay, I'm going to mess with this roster a little bit and come back and play a game with the Kings. So I'm just going to do a couple quick releases or something with both squads and clear the path to the next game in the after trade deadline season here. So okay, so I'll be right back.